Hey guys, WantClue here. It's fantastic to have you back. Today, we got something to play with. So this right here is the so-called DeskPi rack-made T1 in the Black Edition. It is a mini rack. So if you think about like servers and everything else that comes into networking, they usually be contained in a rack. And this right here is basically the same, but in a miniature version, which is fantastic because I do have some crazy ideas that I want to share with you and that I hopefully can establish in the next couple of days. So the idea right here is that we use this, which you usually use for like networking equipment or switches, routers, or mini PCs, and you put that in a small form factor rack. The DeskPi rack-made T1 is the perfect addition for that because it's miniature and it gives me plenty of options to play around with, especially when it comes to 3D printing and using it for something special like I intend to. I want to build a development mini rack for Bitaxes. So I do have multiple versions of Bitaxe because I do develop the firmware on it. And what I want to do is I want to create a rack where I do have all the versions that are available from the Macs to the Gamma. And I want to use that in order to have all of them in a place where I can control them, monitor them, and upload new firmware changes immediately without having a hackmack of like trying to plug in every device, running the firmware, yada, yada, yada. That is exhausting. I want to have something that's automated, and therefore I got myself this thing and I want to build it. It's totally crazy, but let's do that. Let's take a look on the inside and what's in it. So here we go. I think like the first stage has been achieved. I did a couple of things. As you do see, I have a small holder here and everything is already put together, but we're not done yet. This is more or less part 1 of part 2 or part 3 of these videos that I want to do about this mini rack, because I told you about the idea that I do have with creating some sort of a development rack that I can use for having everything in one place for developing on the Bitaxe firmware. One of the biggest things here for me was to have a place where I can attach all of my Bitaxe miners in one place and just use them in that particular space. Right here, I do have, just for testing purposes, already the Bitaxe Ultra attached to it. I will go over all the other parts in just a second, but I want to show you the quick part of me printing this stuff, and a huge shout out goes over to NerdMiner.de because they helped me with creating this one. I'm not good when it comes to creating 3D prints. I just asked them, hey guys, do you want to quickly help me? I do have this crazy idea, and they said yes, sure. And there's NerdMiner.de on it. I'll make sure to publish the files for this, so if anybody of you want to actually rebuild this whole thing here like I did, I'll make sure to share everything as soon as I do have everything functional. Obviously the 3D print can go to printables or Thingiverse or whatever is out there, but yeah, we'll get into that. I printed it on my 3D printer, and you'll probably now see this, a quick time lapse of it printing really quickly. And then afterwards I was inserting some of these female thingies for the screws. I don't know the particular name, but don't worry about that. So I was putting them in there because I was using my my soldering iron, heating it up, and with heating the soldering iron up, I could heat up also the metal and then inject it into the 3D print, which was perfect. So now I do had actually the option to properly secure and mount in the Bitaxe. This currently features 3 Bitaxe. I think 3 is a perfect alignment. The idea here is that I do print myself a second one. I just rotate it by 180 degrees and then it faces inwards. So I do have 2 of them. What you see on top here is the display that I want to use. And now here comes the crazy part. Let me quickly turn this around. You do see there are already other parts in it as well. So what do we have here? I also 3D printed a switch holder. I do have this old switch laying around and I wanted to use it. And I currently do have 2 Raspberry Pis in here. This one should be Raspberry Pi 3 and this one right here is a Raspberry Pi 4. I want to use them for some stuff, especially for the display. The Raspberry Pi 4, it does have 4 USB ports. Technically speaking, that's perfect, because what I want to do is I want to directly attach to all of the Bitaxe, and I want to monitor them or be able to monitor them and upload firmware over USB instead of relying on Wi-Fi, even though Wi-Fi is a great thing. Yeah, I already mounted them in here and I can use them for testing and other purposes. Below that, do we have this thing here where the cables go through, as you do see, to the inside, and we also have a wall outlet plug thingy here where I can put in any sockets that I need to. So everything will go neatly into it. Maybe I just print myself a second one of these and attach it right here, because it should fit perfectly. And on the bottom I do have place for everything else that needs to go in there. Technically we should be able to have a whole option for 6 or maybe 12 Bitaxe if you do print 2 of them and just rotate them. Yeah, I think for the first part of just assembling a couple of these things, that's a great thing, and I just wanted to show it to you. It's super easy to attach everything together, so here we go. Part 1 over. I thank everybody for tuning in and see you on the next one.